Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So we have here the starts of a garden. About 2 years ago, we dug this area down. It's about a kidney shape, about maybe 100 feet long and maybe 50 odd feet wide at its widest. And we dug it down when we had some property partially cleared next to us. And we buried about 4 feet worth of debris under this surface. And amazingly,
What kind of debris?
All organic debris, all branches, leaves,
Small trees.
bushes. Okay. So we buried that, and then we put the dirt back on. Again, it's an excavator, so there's a lot of machinery to actually get that to happen. And then when the dirt was put back on the surface, amazing enough, it was essentially flat again, even with four feet of debris put in there, but it compressed. So then over the last 2 years, we've been putting horse poop.
See if we can see some of this.
Yeah.
There's some there that's fresher.
And hog fuel, which is just large wood chips from our horse pens. When we clean it out, we've been putting it here. And it's been composting in piles for about, some of it for as long as 2 years, some as short as 2 weeks. And we had a small John Deere tractor that was used to kind of mix it around a little bit, push it around, and get it kind of to a flattish surface. Obviously, it's raised off the ground. But our hope is to have a slightly raised hugelkultur that can be farmed with horses. We have a smaller hugelkultur area over there, and it's very labor intensive. Permaculture, which is part of hugelkultur, is a part of the permaculture process, and we're not doing a great job at it, but we're trying. But we found it to be very labor intensive, partially because we're not maybe putting cardboard or weed suppressing materials at the end of the season or the early start of a season. So we're going through and having to sort and weed the hugelkultur, which disturbs the soil and kind of defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do with permaculture. So we're not exactly sure what we're doing, but we're trying to have an area that has a lot of organic material, has a large reservoir of water beneath the surface, which we're hoping that organic layer is going to help provide, also for things to be growing in that buried subterranean area to allow things
What
to grow.
things growing?
Mushrooms, fungus, rhizomes.
Okay.
Right?
And why?
Because we believe it should be the richer the soil, hopefully the more fruitful it will be. So we will see.
Sounds good.
Yep. So, but the overall goal of this is to have a flattish hugelkultur that isn't mounded, so that it can be done with machinery. And we're hoping to be able to use our horse machinery, a horse-drawn plow and cultivators and such, to be able to, either plant potatoes in here, vegetables, and be able to harvest. Because doing this stuff by hand is a lot of work. So we're hoping, take these ideas of permaculture, about fertile soil, rich soil, and make it so that it can be maybe mechanized a little bit, so we can manage to do it a little more easily. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish. Right now it's just a big mound, or a slight mound, that's fairly flat as a whole, and we're going to go through the process of trying to cultivate it with the use of horses, and we'll see how fruitful it is and how likely we are to get a decent yield from this property, because we're hoping.
What kind of horses are you using?
We're using Dale's ponies. Thank you for mentioning that, Shuna. So we're focusing on all critically endangered heritage breeds, and Dale's ponies is one of the breeds that we're working on to try to preserve and bring awareness. And we're hoping by using and working with these horses in an agricultural setting, which they were originally used for, along with mining, that people will be interested.
And trotting races.
And
carriage driving.
Yeah.
And fox hunting.
Yeah. The great all-rounders. So, but we're hoping that we can have people that are interested in doing what we're doing, what we're trying to do, which is some small-scale farming, to be a little less reliant, to be able to have an area like this, which would be really troublesome to do by hand, and try to see if we can actually use horses to utilize them and have a symbiotic relationship where they can give back to us as we're giving to them, and have a kind of more of a complete circle.
Why do we want to give to them?
Why do we want to give to the horses?
Yeah.
Because we believe in diversity, and then part of diversity is preserving all these different entities that we believe should exist. And
That are
so,
maybe less common,
yeah,
maybe even endangered.
Yep, these guys are rare and critically endangered, and so we're trying to preserve critically endangered heritage breeds. So
Awesome.
so that's what we're up to here. So we'll see if we're successful or if this is just going to become a giant patch of weeds. But we'll see. This is meant to be
That'll be okay.
this is meant to be to document a start of something, and what our goal here isn't to have extremely polished videos, not to claim that we don't know, but to try to start a process of learning, and hopefully with that process of learning we can share it with others, and if we can do it, anyone can do it. So there you
Basically. Can I just see the logo on your shirt?
go.
I just see something pretty nice here. Cascadia Heritage Farm. Appreciate the miracle.
That's right. We're trying to be appreciative here, and we believe that having animals around and being more involved with your environment enhances appreciation. Our number one goal is to try to be more appreciative, which is not a small feat by any, but we're trying.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.